And you're live.
Hello, hello, hello. Who's out there with me in Facebook land? Anybody hopping on?
No one's on as of yet. We got Tavon Jones watching, and
Yeah.
here we go. We're just going to start this off, and I know a lot of people have seen your video. You got a whole lot of views on that video about you getting that excess proceeds secured in for the $84,000. That was step 2. This morning we actually did step 3 to reach out to the attorney. We've spoken to them and waiting to hear back from them now. So just kind of want to get a feel, Jonel, of what this game, this real estate business is all about. So if you could kind of, you have a lot of things going on in your life. You've walked away from a job. And now what do you do now? Because a lot of people want to do what it is that you've done. But what is the process now? I know, you send out a bunch of letters. I know you have a bunch of signs and stuff that go out. But what is this? How do you really profit from this game? What do you tell people? So let's talk a little bit about the side where we put the signs out to wholesaling, and then we can also talk about the excess proceeds, that money that's there.
Okay, so you don't have a business if you don't market. So that's what I'm going over right now. So we did put out signs for tenant buyers, and we put out signs for cash buyers. So we're using a system called Freedom Soft, and I'm just going through the different leads that are coming in. And we just did this 2 days ago, and we have tons and tons of leads in here. And I'm just gonna turn the computer around so people can see the leads that are actually coming in just for over like 2 days of putting the signs out. These are all the contacts that we have from people calling and leaving voicemails or emails, etc. So we're just going to reach back out to them and find out exactly what they're looking for and go find it.
So when you're talking about reaching out and looking for them, is that what they mean when they say you don't need money or you don't need credit in this business?
Correct. I'm not using any of my own money or my credit at all. I'm finding out who wants to buy, how much money they have, what they're looking for, and then I'm finding out who wants to sell with that criteria, and then I'm just linking the two up.
Okay. And I know you just got you've done a Florida campaign, mm-hmm. and you're also still doing campaigns like up in that Detroit area also, mm-hmm. right? Yeah. And I think you got someone in there who just responded today from that Florida campaign, right? I mean Detroit, the Flint.
Yeah.
Can we just go inside of that a little bit?
Sure.
What did they say?
So this lead is from Flint, Michigan. Guy is from Chuck and Jeff's Home Rentals. He says, I got a letter in the mail saying you may have a property near mine. Can you send me more information?
So when we sent out that mailing campaign, we have a database, right, mm-hmm. of cash buyers, private lenders, people who are looking to sell their homes, people who have vacant properties, people who are behind on their taxes, anything that will represent some type of distress, right? So when you talk about how this whole thing works and coming together without using your money or credit, is that what you mean when you say, okay, so you sent out letters to buyers, right? Mm-hmm. Then you send out letters to people in distress. Mm-hmm. So could you kind of explain a little bit about what you would do to make the deal happen so that you get paid?
Well, we're going to first assess the property, see how much work needs to be done, see how much it's worth, run the numbers. If the numbers are right, then we'll sign a contract. I'll add my fees onto that, and then I'll find the buyer.
So that's a great thing that we're doing, is because what I have you doing right now is getting those buyers up front, right? Mm-hmm. So it's almost like grandma sending us to the grocery store, mm-hmm. right? And she's giving us a list, mm-hmm. and she's actually saying what she wants, right? So you get a list of buyers mm-hmm. that are telling you what they want, and then you go match them up with the properties mm-hmm. of the people who are in distress, right? Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is there any one of those that you can open up one of the leads that will actually, from I think there was somebody who had emailed you. There was another guy that said I sent the property. He was kind of like, call me. And remember that guy?
Yeah, that's in my email.
Oh, it's in your email? Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else said anything on there? Or what was that one in Flint for people that are just coming in? Mr. Willie Mosley, what's going on? Razul Evans, how are you? Yeah, we're just going over, showing people what Jonel is doing to actually continue to get these checks coming in the real estate game. And this is something that anybody can do.
That's the only email. The rest of my phone calls.
Okay. Anybody say anything back on those responses?
He was the only one.
What did he say?
One of them said yes.
Okay, so once again, let's show them what we're looking at. Let's show them what you're looking at, because this is so easy. When you have access to the systems, right? These systems allow us we can have reports, we have contacts. You see Jonel's name up top there. We have our buyers that come into this. If she was to do not do a rehab, but if she was to process the numbers for rehab, we got that section there. And then we got properties there. So as you can see, this campaign right here is Flint, Michigan, right? And let's just play the recording and see what it says there.
I was listening to Jonel. This is Aaron. I got a letter from you that you've got a house you want to sell near a home I've got on Miller Road in Flint. Please give me a call back when you get a chance. 810 area code 397-3603.
They couldn't hear in the
Thanks,
beginning.
bye.
Guys, this is really simple. Jonel is now going to be coaching
I
people.
was listening to Jonel. This is Aaron. I got a letter from you that you've got a house you're wanting to sell near a home I've got on Miller Road in Flint. Please give me a call back when you get a chance. 810 area code 397-3603. Thanks, bye.
And what our system does that we use is, as soon as someone calls in, it automatically kicks them out a text, right? And it says, hey, I can't talk right now. I'll contact you as soon as I can, right? So, what do you think of the system right there, Jonel? Because obviously this is the thing that simplifies everything for you, so you can create freedom for yourself.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It literally does everything for you. You just set up what campaigns you want. It saves all your contacts, all the messages. I don't have to input anything. I love it. I love it.
Right. So let's kind of go over to this back to the excess proceeds, because that's where we're going to be working with you to put together a tremendous program to teach other people how to do that. For those that are just listening in for the first time, again, what is this excess proceeds? Or when I see something that says overages or surplus funds, could you kind of explain that to people, what that is?
Sure. On the tax side, it's when a home is foreclosed for, let me just give you an example, $50,000. It's sold for $50,000. Well, that's how much the back taxes are, but it sells for $100,000. So there's an excess of $50,000 that goes to the original owner. So that will be the excess proceeds.
Yeah. And so what we do is we reach out to those people who have money that they don't know about, right? And we have different lists that we use for those different things. Now, where's this information stored? Because your listeners probably don't know that this is public information.
Oh yeah, it's in the county. Your county courthouse has all the information, and from what I've seen, everything's online. You can pull it up online yourself.
So let's kind of go back over as we were scanning through that original list that you got, and we saw some claims as high as like over $1 million, right? Some of probably the big boys, and then we came across your claimant. We'll just call her Ann X for now, all right? And so Ann X had a claim. What did you see when you looked at that claim?
I saw a big number. So
What was that number?
it was $284,000.
Okay. Did your heart palpitate?
It did. I got all kind of hot flashes and everything. Yeah.
And so, based off of what I had showed you, based off of what the people, the people at the county, the clerks showed you where the money is and told you exactly what's going on. So this isn't something. This is not something I just made up, right?
Right.
So what was when you saw that $294,000 there? What was the next step?
Send her a letter.
We had to contact her, right?
Right.
Hey, Miss Annex, you got some money, right? And let's talk about that, because this might be hard for some people to conceptualize, that people every day are losing their properties to a foreclosure, whether it's either going to be a mortgage foreclosure, it's going to be a tax foreclosure, it could be a HOA foreclosure, homeowners association foreclosure. It could be something concerning bankruptcies. It could be something concerning several different things. But for these specific purposes, this one was for mortgage foreclosure, right? So that means that whatever she and X, your claimant, owed on that mortgage, it actually sold at the auction for $294,000 above what was owed on the mortgage, right? Now, if you can recollect, how long had that money been sitting there?
Since June of this year.
Since June of this year. So we're going to go by this, break this down like we're Columbo. Said claimant, went through a foreclosure. Said claimant lost her house, and the money that was above and beyond the original mortgage, that's owed to her, right, as the last owner of record.
Right.
And most people, as you now know, don't know this.
Correct.
So I remember telling you the story before about a friend of mine who received a letter from an attorney, right? She foreclosed on her condo, and the attorney sent her a letter saying that, I noticed that you had a foreclosure. If you sign this paperwork, I'll send you $2,500. She signed the paperwork. It was an assignment agreement, right? And the attorney promptly sent her $2,500, although she was owed $25,000. So is it safe to say that people don't even really know what's going on if they were a property owner and they've had a foreclosure? Do you find that most people just run and stick their head in the sand, or why aren't people educated on this process?
I mean, you don't know what you don't know. I mean, I guess they figure, once you foreclose, that's the end of it. They're done with the house. So, and it's clearly not the case.
Absolutely. So, in doing your research now, because you've become a student of the game, right? Looking at research, how long? Because there's been some rule changes in Florida. If people look at the state statutes, now we've discovered that any type of creditor only has 60 to 90 days?
90 days.
To file their claim. If they don't do it, they're wiped out of it, right? Now, what we're doing is we're kind of like becoming a creditor, or we're becoming the owner. We're stepping in the owner's shoes, because the owner is signing off on paperwork to give us sole exclusive claim of that money that's sitting there called excess proceeds, right?
Right.
Now, so you make contact with the lady, and does she think this is a scam, or how does she respond to you?
No, she didn't think it was a scam at all. She wanted to know how much money and when she could get it.
Now, do you think, I know this is just you thinking outside, do you think that she knew about the excess proceeds?
No.
No? She didn't never even know that. Once she lost it, they just went and moved somewhere else, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. What do I have next here for you? Hey, Stephanie Druitt German. I see Willie Mosley there. Hey, if you guys have any questions, shoot your questions out, and I'll ask Jonel, and she can answer them for you. And by the way, Jonel has her own website now, the Jonel Gilmer Story, where she's going to be talking more about the excess proceeds and how she secured the $84,000 deal without flipping a house, without doing a rehab, without doing any of the things that these gurus are telling you guys to do. So I know we had dinner the other night with one of my good friends, and now you've had the opportunity to meet Mr. Jonathan Burden. And one of the things that Jonathan said is that people don't really understand this and how we create money out of thin air. What does he mean by that? How are we creating money out of thin air? I mean, really, it wasn't our money, right?
Right, but people don't know it's there. So, it just pays to know somebody that knows.
Right. So with this part of the business, how is your business going to be set up now? Are you doing the excess proceeds along with some other stuff? How do you work it?
I'm doing everything. Everything that I can fit in all these hours in the day that I have, that's what I'm doing. I have a goal to meet, so.
Okay. And to meet that goal, what is like maybe one of the things that you do? Like, do you have time blocks in your day where you do certain things? And if so, what's the most important thing to do in this time block?
So yes, I do have a schedule. I thrive off a schedule. And the bulk of my day is set up for marketing. Because I need to get people in my database to contact so I can make some deals happen.
Okay. All right. So for people to find out more, I'm sure there are going to be people interested. People want to know, how in the world are you doing this? I've seen a lot of views on your post from last week when we got the paperwork signed. Where can people find you if they want to just get a little bit more information, not only on the excess proceeds, but on your story? Because you have an amazing story that I know is going to strengthen a whole lot of women and give people the opportunity to actually dream again. Where can people find you?
So you guys can find me at thejonelgilmerstory.com.
And how do you spell your name there for them that don't know?
It's going to be JONEL GILM as in Mary ER.
All right. For those that are skeptical, for those that, don't take advantage of opportunity when it's presented, what do you say about this opportunity? Because this is kind of different than like your standard, network marketing thing, right? Mm-hmm. This is something that's been going on for eons. It's something that won't stop as long as people face situations that put them in some type of distressed state. And the statistics say that every single day, somewhere around the country, there's $13 million of excess proceeds being deposited in these registries. Mm-hmm. What do you say to people who are like, what, Jonel, what is this? What do you mean? Is this really real? What do you say to those people?
I say it's absolutely real. You'll see how real it is when I'm on live with my check for $84,000.
And now, okay, speaking of that, so there's a little time period between when you actually sign off, then you got to get your attorney, mm-hmm. and then they're going to go file the motion in the courthouse?
Correct. For the mortgage portion.
Okay, for the mortgage portion. For the tax sale side here in Florida, we can go do that ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, anybody interested in learning how to do this, make sure you go over. We're going to be putting together some really informative short videos showing you exactly how this is done and what we're doing, why we're doing this. We're doing this for, we got our own reasons. And we want to build our own team. And we want to help people to collect income and to be able to take care of their families. And with that being said, Jonel, how do we take this out? I don't know. What do you say to people that have watched you, people that know you, maybe ex-co-workers, and things like that? What is it like on this side as you take control of your life?
It feels like just what you said. I'm in control. I don't have to punch in anybody's time clock. I get to make my own money. I get to schedule my own life without, being told what to do. I get to go to my child's school when I get ready and talk to his teachers and spend some quality time with him at my leisure versus trying to get permission from someone else to do it. So, it feels amazing on this side. So. Okay. And
one more time before we leave, people can find you where?
thejonelgilmerstory.com.
thejonelgilmerstory.com. Mm-hmm. All right, that's the time. Thanks for your time. I know you're going to get back to work over there. And people expect to continue to? I know you got a YouTube channel now too, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's that YouTube channel?
Jonel Gilmer Story.
All right, Jonel Gilmer Story. Go ahead over there. A lot of the videos will go over to the Jonel Gilmer Story. Jonel's also working on a membership to be able to take people along with her on this journey as she's continuing to learn and to grow. Every day we're learning, every day we're growing. And I just want to be a blessing to other people and show them how to eliminate their money worries. So with that being said, stay tuned. We got some more coming. I think we're even going to start up the Jonel Gilmer Studios, right? Show people
Right.
how to show people how to take control of all of this free social media stuff and really build a following for themselves so they can take care of their family. So with that being said, thank you. We look forward to following and hearing more. If you're out there and you're listening to this video at any time later on, feel free to leave a comment and Jonel will go through them personally, answer your question. Thanks for your time, guys. The Jonel Gilmer Story. Signing
Thanks
off.
for tuning in.